Hello everyone. In this session, I would like to walk you through on how to set up a lab so that we can test VPN tunnel settings and on two Cisco firewalls, between two Cisco firewalls. We're going to be using all Cisco devices, and we won't get into setting up the actual VPN tunnels, but we will set up all the layer 3 settings so that we can test this. I will make a second video and we will dive more into the firewall configuration and the tunnel configuration, but in this case we'll just set up the lab. We'll start with the switch here, so we'll have to create a VLAN and an SVI. So we'll configure the switch. We'll use VLAN 100. We'll configure an SVI, assign in an IP address. We'll do 10. So now we can verify that our VLAN is configured, and here's our VLAN, VLAN 100, and we also have our SVI, show IP. Okay, now this SVI or switch virtual interface will be down until we assign a port to this particular VLAN. In this case, we want to assign VLAN 100. We want to assign gigabit 00 to VLAN 100. It's going to be an access port. It's going to be assigned to VLAN 100. In just a few seconds here, we will see VLAN 100 come up now that we've assigned port gigabit 00 to VLAN 100. And there it is. Now we see that VLAN 100 is up. We can ping our own address. And we can. The next thing we want to do is we need to configure a default route to our firewall. In order to do that, if we do show IP route today, we see that we have a connected route, which is our SVI, VLAN 100, but we have no gateway of last resort. So to do that, we'll configure a static route. And we'll make it .1. So if we look at the routing table, there's our gateway of last resort. The next thing we have to do is configure this interface on the firewall. So we have our firewall here with no configuration. We want to configure gigabit 01. We'll assign it an IP address. We also will assign it a security level of 100. Here, security level can be between 0 and 100. Security level 0 is less secure than 100. So typically you want your inside interface, you always want it to be the most secure. So in this case we're going to do 100, and we're going to give it a name of inside. So when we look at our configuration, we just now need to enable it. And once it comes up, we should be able to ping our own address. And there it is. And we should also be able to ping our switch. And we can. So the next thing we have to do, now that we have this connectivity working, now we need to configure this here. In this case, since this is our WAN interface, we're going to be using this subnet here. And we're going to be using security level 0 since this is our WAN interface, public facing. And we're going to name it outside. And we're going to say no shut. And our interface now is up. Now we're going to configure our WAN router facing our firewall. Our interface is now up, and we should be able to ping our own address and also our firewall. And we can. So now we've confirmed we have connectivity between this link and this link. We'll do the same thing for these two. Now that we have our interface configured on this side, we will move on to configuring the firewall interface. For security level 0, since this is our WAN interface. And we'll verify that we have reachability. And we do, between this side. Now we just need to configure this link here. Now we just need to configure the branch switch. In this case, we'll configure a VLAN. And also an SVI. Now our SVI is going to be down until we assign VLAN 200 to an interface. So we'll assign that to interface gigabit 00. And it'll take just a minute to go link to come up. And there it is. And we can ping our firewall now. So now we have completed the IP configuration of the layer 3 network on all devices. In the next video, we will dive into the firewall configuration and look at what needs to be configured on the firewall so that we can have a VPN tunnel between two Cisco ASAs. Thank you.